Thanks, glad to be here.
We've got Highfields. Robert, can you introduce the band for us, please?
Yeah, so we're down one member today, but with us in the studio we've got Leon Pierce from Jersey. He's on the guitar today, but he also plays cello and sings as well. We've got Marius Rekstad on the accordion. That's the one, all the way from Norway. And he also plays keyboards and trumpet in the band. We've got Melody Ng from Singapore on the glockenspiel.
Melody with the melody?
Yeah. And on the far side, we've got Alec Brits from South Africa on the guitar case, percussion today. And he is our drummer. We're missing our bass player, Runar Nebo, but he's in Norway right now, so we'll make do.
You're going to do some tracks, strip back a little bit for us today.
Yeah, the first one is, I think the Apathy is Sinking In. We recently released the recorded version with Hubris Records with Steve Levine. So we're just we're going to do a little bit of a stripped down version for you today.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Starts in school with the way they treat us, act a fool so they don't delete us, farm a dream, a petri fetus, get your fix through the intravenous. Oh, is this a world that we're living in? Oh, I think the apathy is sinking in, judge success by social skills online. Do you creep in your free time? I wonder if you feel alone even though you sleep with your phone. Oh, is this the world that we're living in? Oh, I think the apathy is sinking in. Slogan, yes we can. Drugs are bad, we're broken. Left or right, doesn't really matter. They both dance for the puppet master. Oh, oh, is this the world that we're living in? Oh, I think the apathy is sinking in. Privacy is for those who run the show. G20's got to go. I wonder if they sleep at night. Is there such thing as human right?
That was brilliant. I like that.
Proper authentic, that.
Yeah, it was. Adapted it well. High fives to Highfields then.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Sounds good, that. This came together when you started Lipper, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember actually arriving in Liverpool and starting the course? Were you thinking to yourself, I'm going to get a band together as soon as I get enough people, or how did it come together?
I wanted to get a band together, but I think there was a little bit more culture shock than I was ready for when I first got here. My dad's half English, so I kind of knew sort of what to expect, but just being so far removed from everything I felt comfortable with was a bit just a bit of an experience in itself. So I think I kind of needed a year to kind of get on my feet, live on my own, sort myself out, and then by the time second year rolled around, I was kind of hungry to be playing gigs and doing something, and I really just wanted to develop the sound and basically offer something more than just guitar and vocals. So that's when I started looking for band members. And
who was the first person you found?
Runar and I were in a band together in first year. It was kind of this weird combination of like acoustic folk music and progressive rock licks. It was strange, but he was a drummer in that band, and so I already knew him. He plays bass in the band now, so he got on board, and he was living with Marius, and Marius is a fantastic keys player, and I knew that, so I wanted to get him on board, and I really wanted some strings, and Lan played cello, and we became friends, and we're in the same course. And Melody was a year younger than we, or not a year younger, she was a year behind us at Lipa. Sorry.
You the youngest in the band, Melody?
No.
That's
it's a secret.
Yeah, you just said yes, it is radio. You said yeah.
This is kind of strange. Basically, when I was a kid, I used to play handbells in like school and church handbell choirs, that kind of thing. Mainly because it was full of girls.
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, it was one of the few places where I could be like one of the few straight guys with a bunch of other girls. And
he's a crafty mate at this film in Canada, isn't he?
So I figured, okay, this is a great thing to get involved with. And the funny thing is, when I met Melody, it turned out that she had actually been, of all the places in Canada, she had been to where I'm from. So not even Edmonton, which is the city I said I was from. She went to St. Albert, which is a suburb where I actually grew up.
What's the chances of that?
And get this, she actually happened to play handbells in my church, in my parents' church.
That's getting a bit spooky now.
And she knew like friends of my parents and like mutual friends, mutual acquaintances who played handbells as well. And it's just such an odd thing.
Yeah, I was just there that year when I got into Lipa.
Yeah.
When you were looking for the band.
Yeah.
You were like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's weird.
And Leon, of course, you've been in before. We played your tracks, haven't we? We played your brilliant solo stuff as well, which continues. You're still doing that as well as this.
Yeah, still sort of, it's kind of taken away in the back of my head somewhere.
Have you all got your own projects? Have you all got other things going on apart from Highfields?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everyone is in different bands and projects, but this is kind of a baby where we all come together and kind of create together, which is nice.
That's good though that you've got the other things, isn't it? I think it works well with bands now because there's so many avenues to explore with your music. You can always go back and do your own thing and then join forces again.
Yeah, and it's nice as well because kind of the more time we spend apart from each other, it makes us hungrier to get back together and keep working on stuff. So we've all got to live our lives and pay the bills and do that sort of thing. But when we get the chance to play together, it's always fun, and we're really happy with the recordings we've been working on right now. So yeah, I mean, we're all into different things. Like I said, Melody and I did handbells, and I've been in all sorts of choirs and musicals and
well, that comes across actually, doesn't it? The musical side of thing, the performance side, because it is quite theatrical, really. This, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's funny because we have all of us have been in musicals. Like Marius and Runar were at folk high school in Norway together. Sort of after school, they have like a year where you can kind of study intensely something, and they were both at the same sort of music thing, studying musical theatre, and they were both, like, Marius was playing and Runar was on stage, and they've both been very theatrical.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of that in my past. Robert's done a lot. Melody's played a musical.
It comes through with the music as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think when we all come together, it works.
The word eclectic gets used, sometimes overused, really, with music, but it is quite an eclectic sound, really, your music. Really.
Yeah, well, we're all multi-instrumentalists. I mean, I only play guitar in the band, but I used to play piano, I used to play trumpet. In general, we're pretty eclectic in that. Because
you're all multi-instrumentalists. Yeah. Is that harder sometimes? Because you've got so many ideas coming to this. Is it like you've got too many ideas occasionally?
The really nice thing about the band is that we all trust each other to come up with our own parts, and if something doesn't work, we'll call each other on it and say, like, look, this is clashing, or we need to try and work this around. But generally, if someone comes up with something, it's a pretty good idea, and we stick with it and we try and develop it. So it could be an issue because, there are times when, say like 3 or 4 members all play the piano or could play the piano, and we could all say, maybe you should play this differently. But Marius has his own style and his own way of doing things, and we all respect that and let him do his thing. So
I think that makes the sound as well.
Yeah, we all have our own style, and we all add into the pot,
And it must be a manager's nightmare, this, trying to get everyone together to do a gig, because you're all doing your own thing, you've got your own projects, but you're also back and forth. Trying to keep it together must be hard now.
It is, yeah. As far as a manager's nightmare, I guess I'm sort of managing the band at the moment. We all pull our weight and do our own thing, but yeah, we're completely independent. We've been getting arts grants and that kind of thing to keep us going through our schooling, and even recording now. We got some money from Canada, so it is a bit of a challenge getting everyone in the same room at the same time. But when we do, we have a great time, and it seems to be the reason to keep going. You know what I mean? Every time we play, I feel like the first time I played with the band, and that I'm doing the right thing. So it kind of push all the other doubts out of my mind.
Tell us about the next track, which we haven't played yet, and you're going to do live for us.
This track is called Stop Making Trouble in Paradise. It's sort of about people who figure that because they've got nice stuff, that makes them a nice person. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The size of your fishbowl, waiting around can still take its toll. Those at the top must be lonely. The fun's in the journey, the struggle is holy. But I still hear them say, stop making trouble in paradise. I am my stuff and my stuff is nice. Now let me give you some good advice. Stop making waves or you'll pay the price. I've got some mouths that need feeding. I don't have time to stop evil from breeding. Look to the youth who inherit. Knowledge is power, our duty to share it. We've got them cornered and bleeding. We're only vicious when freedom is fleeting. They have no use for solution. Body and soul, they promote our pollution. But I still hear them say, stop making trouble in paradise. I am my stuff and my stuff is nice. Now let me give you some good advice. Don't speak your mind or you'll pay the price. Stop making trouble in paradise. I am my stuff and my stuff is nice. Now let me give you some good advice. If you don't change me, I'll pay the price. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Start making trouble in paradise. They don't own us and we won't act nice. Now let us give them some good advice. If you don't change me, I'll pay the price. Start making trouble in paradise. They don't own me and I won't act nice. Now let me give you some good advice. If you don't change me, I'll pay the price. Start making trouble in paradise. They don't own us and we won't act nice. Now let us give you some good advice. If you don't change me, I'll pay the price.
Lovely track, that. Nice new one.
Yeah, thanks very much.
And that's what I think I like about you, is every track's different, innit? There's something different to every track.
Yeah, we try and mix it up a bit.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.